You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here's your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
I am Lisa Wysocki. I'm in Ashland City, Tennessee.
And I'm Jamie Jennings, and I'm in Norman, Oklahoma. And you're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for Wednesday, April 9th, episode 3665. Good morning, horse people.
Hello, horse world. It's Wednesday, the day you start daydreaming of a weekend with your horses. We'll help you get there with more silly horse talk on Horses in the Morning.
Well, Lisa, how's it going? Oh my gosh, I've heard you've had just like the craziest. I mean, we've all had crazy weather, but I heard you were really in the thick of it. How are you holding up?
Oh, well, pretty well. You know, we flooded twice in 3 days. That's never happened before. So,
oh, that's cool.
And that means, you know, the lower pasture and the lower field and the driveway, you know, is all 4 feet underwater and the fences go down. And, you know, it just is. It's just part of living on some little property. So
yeah,
you know.
It's fun. You know what I really love doing is like spending a ton of money on gravel for my driveway and then having like torrential rains just wash it all away. It's so fun.
I know. Oh, I know. It's so heartbreaking. It really is. And then, you know, Jamie, we all had this, but we have a draft cross who he doesn't care if he gets shocked by the electric fence. He just barrels on through and you know, knocks the fences down about once a week on his own, and then everybody follows him, and it's just, you know, I don't know what we're going to do with him.
That sounds really. What kind of draft horse?
He's very cute. He's a Shire Belgian thoroughbred cross.
Oh my gosh!
And he looks like a Shire. He inherited that bulk. So
the bad ones are always the cutest.
Aren't they?
Thank God.
Yes, they totally are. And then we have, you know, our new horse, our Oldenburg, you know, who just jumps over the fence from a standstill.
God.
You know, he's a lot of fun too, but he likes to stand in the driveway. So.
Are you wondering why he got donated now, or have you pretty much figured that out?
I know. You know, it was funny. You know, I was in Lexington a couple of weeks ago doing some movie scouting with the producers, and we were looking at some of these horses. And there was a lady who had an 8-month-old Oldenburg filly, and she said, you know, she said, I love her, but she jumps out of the fence every day. Like,
would you like to have her? No.
No,
I would not.
No, we have one.
Oh my gosh. Well, hey, that reminds me, you said going to Kentucky and scouting. We have figured out a time and a plan for a meetup for the Kentucky 3-day. There is a Ramsey's that's relatively new. We went there last year and it was really new. And it's on the north side of town, kind of near Masterson Station. So it's the closest to the Kentucky Horse Park. So we're going to do a dinner meetup. I've booked the patio and it's like 6:00 at Masterson Station Ramsey's on Friday night. The Friday after the second day of dressage, right before cross country, because on Saturday night, we're all too dang tired to do anything because you walked 400 miles. So we're going to do that. So if you want to come and have me put you on the list, just email me, jamie@horseradionetwork.com. If you haven't joined on the Facebook post that I made, just send me an email or send me a Facebook message or something, and I will make sure I've got you counted. I've got already 25. So if there's more, we need to know. I know, I'm so excited. It's going to be so fun. So
yeah, I think I'm going to try to come. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try.
That's what you said. That's so great. And so will you have some movie people with you, or is just?
I don't know. I'll have to ask them if they want to come. So
because there was last time we talked to you when you were doing all this movie scouting, it sounded like a pretty big party.
Oh, it was. It's a great group of people. It's a great group, and you know they're so thorough and they're doing everything by the book, and I'm just learning so much. It's really been a great experience so far.
How fun. That's so cool. Well, hey, you were messaging me about this horse that I have in training.
Yes.
Heart. He's the biggest thing that I've had on this farm. And I had Giant Raphael, but he was a warm blood, but like of a smaller stature than this horse. They're probably close to the same height, but this horse has got to be 17.3, 18 hands. And he is built like a like a percheron, just like huge.
He looks like a percheron. That's what I thought he was.
Yeah, actually, I have a copy of his papers because I couldn't believe it myself because I thought he was a draft horse. He's a Hanoverian. He's the biggest Hanoverian I've ever seen in life. And so
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I know. You were asking me about the draft horse. I was like,
Yes.
no, it's a Hanoverian.
Oh,
And
my
so
goodness.
I got his papers, and yeah, he is. And sweet Kate, who is a listener, her and her mom sent him down to me along with his little brother from another mother. And so I had him see the osteopath yesterday, and it was awesome. So my osteopath is a woman named Dr. Rasmussen, and she is my size, but even tinier than me. So she's like my height, but even smaller. And to work on this horse, we had to get a giant step ladder. And she was on the very tippy top of the step ladder and was like still reaching up to adjust his pelvis. Like,
Oh, my goodness.
yeah, it was awesome. It was
Oh. Oh, well, he is a lucky horse to have you as his human for at least for a little bit.
oh my gosh, he's lucky to have his normal humans. He just gets to hang with me for a little while. But, this is sadly the last two horses that Farm Boy and I are going to train together. We may get a couple race horses before he leaves, but these are the last. Yes, I'm just devastated. Okay, just so you know, Farm
This
Boy
is tragic. This
and
is tragic
Anna.
news.
They're leaving at the same time.
Oh.
I'm not going to be okay. So
No.
I'm going to wear black. Like I'm in mourning and it's going to be really bad. But I am so excited that we have these two horses that are absolutely lovely. We get to go out on a high note with two horses that we really, really enjoy and we're having so much fun working with. So, but yeah, it's just so you guys know, it's like, I think I've got him for another month. Like my palms are sweaty even talking about it.
No.
I know. He's been here since he was 19 years old. He's been 4 years here. I don't know what to do. Like, he's so perfectly trained. Now he's just going to go not train horses.
I know.
God.
Oh, Jamie, this is just awful.
I know. Just those of you in about a month, just be thinking of me.
Oh.
I'm gonna cry.
I'll have to send you a care package.
Send me a Farm Boy care package.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we have got a really fun show today. And we're going to talk to Darrith Russell, Missa Kitchen, a home for every horse in Barefoot Ranch. And they're doing a cool project. And then we're going to talk to Dr. Kristi Gran about melanomas. So stick around because after that, of course, the ever fun weird news is coming up. First, Daily Whitneys.
So my Daily Whinny is a belated birthday wish to my mother, who on March 30th turned 102.
Oh my God.
I know. And she's just a force of nature and just amazing. And she's still in her home and with some help, but she's just doing great. So, happy belated birthday to Mom.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And she'll hate me. Don't tell her I said anything.
Well, for my Daily Whinny, we have a special guest doing my Daily Whinny. You've heard her giggling in the background. That is Jen. And Jen, I'm gonna offer you my Daily Whinny because you had something to say. So take it away.
Yes, thank you for letting me use your Winnie. My Daily Winnie goes to the Horse Radio Network Auditors Virtual Tevis team. We're in first place.
Woohoo!
We have so far 263 accumulated miles. And our ringer, Karen Chatton, who just happens to be an FEI world-class award-winning endurance rider, submitted 58 miles already.
Wow.
Yeah, well, she did a 50-mile race over the past weekend, so, she did
that's
that.
amazing.
Yeah, so Karen, Diana, Kimberly, Regina, and Sharon are our top 5 contributors. And our bottom contributors are me and Aaron, each with less than 2 miles. Yay us.
But still, it's better than not having 2 miles.
I'm not going to lie. I got to jump in here because honestly, I thought you were going to give your Daily Whinny to your husband for taking care of the farm for like the whole time you were gone. And you know what? Nope.
That's just payback for all the years that he didn't.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. I love it. That's a good point. Good point. Yeah, he didn't get no daily Winnie. Whatever. That's his job.
He had
Okay.
to take care of that freaking pony's diaper rash.
Yeah, I love it.
That'll
It was
teach
Yeah.
him.
Well,
It was
good
so
for him.
fun hearing him talk about that. Oh God, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Pony diaper rash.
Well, but before we get to all of the things, I would like to tell you a little bit about State Line Tack. Hey, horse lovers, are you ready to gear up for spring riding? State Line Tack is having some incredible deals you absolutely can't miss. Right now, you can score up to 30% off your order, and they have tons of buy one, get one offers on essential items. Need a new helmet? Yes. Oh, okay. Check out the Back on Track EQ. Sorry, that was me. The Back on Track EQ3 helmets, now only $150. Oh my God. Plus, you can find Aubrey and gear up to 65% off and get a free pair of fuzzy socks. And for a limited time, grab a Tail Tamer horse shave razor for just $199. Don't wait. Head over to State Line Tack online or in store to take advantage of these amazing savings. That's State Line Tack, your one-stop shop for everything horse. And as always, you guys, when you're checking out, there's a coupon code. Just type in HRN. Okay. HRN is a coupon code. Get 30% off any order over $129. Enter coupon code HRN at checkout. Please note some products are not eligible for the additional discount due to manufacturer restrictions. They are noted in your shopping cart.
Well, we are very excited to welcome Melissa Kitchen from A Home for Every Horse and Darrith Russell from Barefoot Ranch. Welcome, ladies. How are you?
Doing great.
Great. How are you?
We're great. We're great. And we all just love a story about giving back. And I run a nonprofit here in Tennessee. And I think we have a bunch of folks from the Equine Network down your way today, and you're in Georgia. Tell us what they're doing.
Absolutely. So a couple of times a year, A Home for Every Horse gets to go out to a rescue and bring volunteers in and do any and all kinds of projects we can find. So tomorrow, we're going to be at Barefoot Ranch in Canton, Georgia, with about 80 volunteers and just doing projects all around. And we're so excited.
Oh my goodness. That is so exciting. And I know how much that means to a nonprofit to have that kind of labor. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, Melissa, tell us a little bit about A Home for Every Horse.
So A Home for Every Horse is part of the Equine Network Foundation, where we support horse rescues across the country. So anything from Purina feed to weather-beater blankets, and then these volunteer days. Thanks to the Anheuser-Busch Foundation, we get to come in here and bring in all the volunteers and all the supplies and just manpower and do things. So, but yeah, we have about 450 rescues in the program right now, and we're just trying to make sure that every horse has the best plan going forward.
Well, that's just amazing. And then, Darrith, tell us a little bit about Barefoot Ranch and how you got started with that.
Barefoot Ranch was originally a individual riding club training facility. I had about 12 to 14 horses at any one time, and I was pulling thoroughbreds off the track and rehabbing them, and at that point, selling them into good homes. I loved working with them and giving them a new career, because at the time it was really tough on thoroughbred horses. I had also done endurance with my Tarpons, which are a conservation breed of horse.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically traveled all over the place and did long distance riding. Absolutely adored it. We were a club in 1997, but then in 2009, we started working with some special needs kids and realized that we had really good horses for that. And so we turned Barefoot Ranch into a nonprofit. We incorporated in 2010. And for the last, 15 years?
15 years.
Mm-hmm.
15 years, we have served as a Special Olympic training facility. We have pulled horses in and retrained them to become therapeutic horses, riding horses if they didn't have the personality for doing therapy work, and basically doing what we could to serve the community to help horses, riders, and sometimes owners that get in over their heads with various horses.
Yeah, I just love that. It's kind of like a full circle thing that you're doing there, and it's just so amazing. And now, as a type of organization that you are, do you have horses that can be adopted?
Absolutely. We always have adoptable horses here. We also have a pretty extensive foster program, which means we can place a horse with somebody and still be there to give them resources, help. If something happens with the horses, we step in. I'm an ex-vet tech, so I'm able to do a lot to help the horses as long as we still own them. If we don't own them, I have to obviously have to have a veterinarian come in because I'm not a vet. But we do offer a lot of services, including resources if they need it. This has helped a lot of horses that ordinarily wouldn't get a home because it might be overwhelming to an owner.
Well, that's true. That's true. If you're adopting a special needs horse, then that really limits the pool of adoptees who are willing to take that on. Now, tell us about some of the individual horses that are available.
So we have several older horses. Most of the ones that we're trying to adopt out are late teens to early 20s. Usually, if they get much older than that, we decline sending them off because we need to make sure that they have the care that they need. And once they get over a certain age, I have to tell you, we're uniquely qualified in this. I think because of my background and because I've had horses for so long. A lot of people don't understand, like we have a horse here that has to eat 4 times a day due to age and teeth conditions in order to keep their weight up. Yeah. And if I let them go off somewhere and people think they can feed them twice a day, I'll end up getting, and that has happened to me, I have ended up getting horses back skinny and I've been horrified by it.
Oh, of course.
So we're super careful about that. We do a lot with the education with the horses, but most of what we have available here are late teens. And the really cool thing about it is if the horse has an issue, we address it, we correct it. And then if the horse goes to home, we itemize what the horse needs to keep them sound and healthy and give them a cost analysis on what it'll cost to maintain this horse. Because if somebody has $200 a month to care for a horse, I do not want to give them a thoroughbred that's 30 years old.
Sure.
It's going to be way higher than that.
Well, that just sets everybody up for success, the horse and the people. Yes, that's great. And so, Melissa, how did you hook up with Darrith and Barefoot Ranch?
So when we pick an area to come do one of these volunteer days, I just look at the rescues that are part of Home for Every Horse and then call and interview a couple and really look at their mission and their need and, just everything overall. And I was really impressed by Barefoot because, they do have the therapeutic riding. I think you adopted out 29 horses last year, but some of them went to your therapeutic riding clients.
I don't know if that was last year or total, but to be honest with you, it's been a blur lately. We've had we had the week before Christmas, we had 4 horses come into us within 2 days. Yeah. And that's a lot in the dead of winter when our expenses double and our revenue from some of the riding that we do, we try to self-fund. That cuts in half. Yep. And we had a month and a half where we had almost 0 revenue come in, which is a little scary. Yeah. Yeah. But it's just been a blessing. I came down here a couple weeks ago and went through the facility, had a tour and figured out all the projects we're going to work on. And it's just nice to be able to come in and highlight one of these rescues and help and meet all the wonderful volunteers and all the amazing horses. And it's a great joy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And so, Darrith, how many horses do you have available for adoption right now?
I knew you were going to ask me that, and I forgot to sort of count up. We probably, at this stage, have about 10 that I think would be good adopted. The reason why I'm not 100% sure is because I've got about 3 people working that are looking at horses to possibly adopt or foster. And so realistically, we might have 13 to 15, but I've got a couple of the horses that are sort of in play. I have one that I haven't delivered that's still on the farm, but at any one time, we probably have as many as 10 to 15.
Right. Well, that's a good selection.
What are some of the projects that you looked around and decided to do?
Oh, so we're going to replace all the gates on the farm. They've got some draft rescues who aren't very friendly to the gates. So we're going to do that.
I can relate.
Yeah. We're going to help put in a track feeding system.
Mhm.
And so it's like rotational grazing kind of throughout their pastures. They have an awesome facility. Is it 100 acres?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to do that in one of the pastures. We are going to rebuild the handicap ramps. We're going to paint the barn. They had a volunteer group come in a year ago that painted half. So we're going to paint the other half. Yeah. So we've just got a lot of things going on, and it's great.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That is
and
awesome.
the ramps.
Yeah.
Our ramps have degraded, and so that's a real big need for us. So they are actually redoing at least one of our main ramps that we use every single day. And that is such a blessing because we have several children that are like, one child has to be lifted by his father onto the horse. He just can't do it. He's had a stroke and he's had some other issues. So, but it's actually helping him so much.
Oh yeah. I run a path center, so I totally get it. And
oh my goodness, that's
yeah.
so cool. Yeah,
Yes.
we have path instructors here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
So
actually-
safety is everything. Safety
Yes,
is
ma'am.
everything for horse and the rider. So,
Yes, ma'am.
so both of you, Melissa and Darrith, tell us how we can find you and how we can get involved.
So Barefoot has an excellent volunteer program. I know every rescue across the country always loves to have volunteers, but these guys have a great program here. And I mean, I've met a few of the volunteers just being here, and they're very involved. They're very passionate. And Barefoot's right outside of Canton, Georgia.
We're actually halfway between Cumming and Canton, Georgia, in a small little town. We have one stoplight, and it's a stoplight.
So that's you're north of Atlanta. You're north of Atlanta,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, ma'am. We're
Yeah.
about an hour north of Atlanta. And it's just a little small town called Freehome, but it's just above the Alpharetta Milton area, which most people know. And it's beautiful. It's in the country, but it's right off of a major highway. And
do you do any open houses or anything?
we
in there
do.
to
We
have
do
bring in
periodically. We do have open houses, but honestly, the best way for somebody to come and volunteer with us is to call our number. I'll do a little pitch here. It's 678-805-RIDE. And that translates to 7433. And they can just call us directly. Our phone is answered by a live human being, and it is on a cell phone. So it's carried by our lovely Lori, and she's happy to help. They can also reach us at Bear, and that's spelled like a teddy bear, barefootranch.org. And they are welcome to go online. They can sign up via online, or they can just email us at info@bear, like a teddy bear, barefootranch.org.
And they have a Facebook group too, Facebook page where they highlight their horses and what's going on here. And they've got some really neat horse stories here that we're going to feature in an upcoming campaign for Who Rescued Who. So,
can't wait to see that. That will be fun. That'll be fun to read.
Really, really cool too, because it's very much true. We do rescue these horses, but it's amazing what these horses do for these children. We've had several children. We work with the school groups, and we've had several kids with autism that just, it's amazing.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, Melissa and Darrith, thank you so much for coming on and telling us about all this wonderful work that you're doing. I just can't wait to see. I hope you will post photos on your Facebook page and online, so we can see all the good work that's being done and all the help that you're going to get to people and to horses. So thank you so much.
absolutely. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Thank
Next
you.
time you have to go to Colby's Army. Little plug for Lisa's rescue.
Hey.
I'm going to look you up, Lisa. We like to work with other groups.
Okay. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This Horse Health Report is brought to you by Daily Dose Equine Non-GMO Core Nutrition for horses and ponies of all ages. I would like to welcome friend of the show, Dr. Kristi Gran of Conley and Coons Vet Hospital. Hi, Dr. Kristi.
Hey there, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, as an owner of multiple gray horses, today's the day I get to learn about melanomas. Oh, God. The worst fear of anybody with a gray horse. So I guess we'll kind of start from the beginning and just say, What is a melanoma and how common is it in horses?
So melanomas are a cancer. The people are most of the time familiar with melanomas in people that are super invasive. They can metastasize, all of that kind of thing. In horses, they're a little bit different. Most of the time, they're external masses. They show up on gray horses most commonly, but I've seen them in colored horses too. And they're locally invasive. They cause quite a bit of damage within that one spot where they are located, but they don't tend to metastasize like other cancers do to the lungs and liver and all of that kind of stuff like in people. So in that sense, it's not as big of a deal that way, but for its local invasiveness, it can be pretty dramatic. We've seen some in the wall of the rectum that really inhibit the ability to pass manure. The external ones can get open and scabbed and nasty, but the basic gist of it is that it is a cancer. It's a skin cancer caused or affected by the melanin cells in the body that we see most commonly on gray horses.
So, being that it's mostly in gray horses, but it's under the tail sometimes or like on the sheath, is it a skin cancer type thing? Like, how do they get it? Is it?
It is. Just yeah, it's a skin cancer, and it has to do with the melanin that's in the skin and those areas. Gray horses just tend to have a little bit more melanin in those spots. The other part of it is that those tend to be the non-haired areas, which are that darker colored hair or darker colored skin that has more of the melanin and oftentimes is more exposed to things like sunlight and that kind of thing. If you'll notice, like, we don't usually see melanomas on like sheaths or eyelids or things that have pink skin. So it's usually those darker areas.
Oh, I thought it was better if they had the darker skin.
So for some things, but not for melanoma.
Oh my God. Okay, well, let's put the worry train in the station and get ready to go here.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, oh well, his whole butt is black, everything is fine. Are there certain breeds that you see it more in? Okay, here comes the fear. Go ahead.
No. I think I've seen them pretty much in every breed. Tend to be older horses. I don't know that I've seen them in any super, super young horses, but breed wise, they seem to spread out pretty well.
Okay, gotcha. So probably gray horse is number one, and then any breed of gray horse. So you're all screwed, not just
all
me.
Not just you. Yeah.
So say I'm looking at my horse and I look, you said typically like under the tail or something. What am I going to see what would give me like a good warning that we are dealing with one?
So if you are lucky enough to catch it, and if you're pretty astute, you can catch them. If your vet is doing annual exams, they'll catch it too. Just run your hand along those areas and you'll feel little bumps, usually bumps that you could like pick up. So like the size of a pea or something like that. At that point, those are the ones that we want to be trying to remove, biopsying, that kind of thing. Once they get bigger and you can't like find the underneath of them, or they're open and ulcerated and scabby, those are the ones that we really have trouble managing. So a good reason for owners to be astute about their owner or their horses, but also to involve your veterinarian in their annual exams and check all of those kind of things.
Okay. So if I see something, I call the vet, they come out, and then what would they do for a melanoma?
So if it's a small one and we can remove it, you can remove it. I always encourage when we remove a mass to actually send it to the lab to confirm that that's what it is. Because if they get one, they're likely to get others. And you don't want to miss it being something else just on the assumption that it's a melanoma. There are some melanomas that look like sarcoids, or I guess I'll say there's some sarcoids that look like melanomas. But so you don't want to make assumptions. But if they're small enough, we can take them off. They're depending on kind of the size of it, the location of it, all of that depends on what kind of surgical procedure you can do to remove it. There's other not really proven and sometimes doesn't work very well medications out there that can try to minimize the progression of a melanoma. If it's to the point where it's not removable, they're not often successful. but they're sometimes worth a try. If you happen to like buy a horse from a sale barn and it has a big one and it can't be removed or debulked or anything like that, that might be an option to talk to the vet about too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so potentially remove it. Is there anything that we can give our horses, like orally or something, to boost their immune system to help with this or try to prevent it? Or are we just all kind of just like, it's like a ticking time bomb?
So I wish I had a good answer for you there. We don't really know, or at least I'm not aware that we know why certain horses get melanomas, and knowing that would help us understand who the ones we need to protect are, short of this mass population of gray horses. But to my knowledge, there isn't anything out there that's been proven to minimize progression or minimize development and progression of melanomas. There is a vaccine out there. It's been used on the dog side of things. It's slowly making its way on the equine side. It's meant to decrease the size of melanomas that already exist and then prevent future development. But the research on whether it will truly prevent development in the first place is questionable. And it's a vaccine that is very, very difficult to get.
Okay.
So it's like you have to have, it's weird.
You got to know somebody, huh?
You got to know somebody. Yeah. And it's like you have to be somehow associated with a board certified oncologist or something. Like there's a whole bunch of regulations on it right now. So it's not something that's widely used equine side. But I mean, you can do all sorts of things to boost immunity as far as like regular vaccination for other diseases. There's a whole bunch of immunity supplements out there. Just none of them have been shown to, or been even looked at to decrease the development of melanoma. The best thing you can do is do thorough exams on your horses, have your vets do thorough exam on your horses, and tackle them when they're small. Because once they get big and open and nasty and ulcerated, it's impossible to take care of them.
Okay, gotcha. Well, Dr. Grant, thank you so much for coming on and completely scaring me to death.
Sorry.
Because I just realized my horse has like one lump on his side, but like it's under the saddle, and I just thought it was like a bump. But now I'm like totally freaking out. Now I got to get him to the vet immediately. So thank you for the continuing efforts to keep me completely scared.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
Where can everybody find you if they want to learn more about you and Kuntz Vet Hospital?
So we are at Conley and Kuntz Equine Hospital at ckequinehospital.com. And then we're also on Facebook. So anyone can visit us there or reach out and we can talk.
Perfect. ckequinehospital.com. Dr. Kristi, thank you so much for joining us as usual.
Anytime. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Non-GMO whole food nutrition is the basis of the entire Daily Dose Equine program. We never forget that natural is better and simplicity is key. Our full line of specialty horse feeds is unique in the industry. We start with high-quality non-GMO grains that are flame roasted for safety and better digestibility. And then we add non-GMO alfalfa, timothy, peas, sunflower seeds, and flax. Your horse will enjoy unsurpassed balanced core nutrition with elevated levels of vitamins, zinc and copper, prebiotics, probiotics, and electrolytes in every mouthful. Find the perfect formulation for your horse at dailydoseequine.com. Select Daily Dose Equine formulations are available nationwide through Chewy.com and TractorSupply.com.
Time to learn why some days you're embarrassed to be part of the human race. In Jamie's Weird News.
All right, Lisa, I don't know if you know this or if you've been to this wonderful facility. It's in Pennsylvania, and it is a museum, and it is dedicated to remembering the effects of a 19th century flood. Apparently, the Johnstown Flood Museum, it's in Cambria County, and it is like dedicated to some huge flood that happened in the 19th century. I would probably know more if I have ever gone. However, you and I can't go right now. Do you know why we can't go right now? Because they're closed due to flooding. I'm sorry. I just thought that was so funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's sad, but I'm like,
Oh,
I
my
gotta alert
goodness.
Johnstown Flood Museum closed because of flooding.
Oh,
Oh,
my
sorry. I had to
goodness.
share that one. Let me back up a little bit because these are all stories that have come to me from our listeners. One of those was sent to me. And the people that participated in this week are Delia, Michelle, Debbie, Summer, Carrie, Laureen, Andrew, Shelly, and Amy. All y'all sent me weird news stories, and half y'all sent me the same one. So we're going to wrap with that one because it's a whole lot of crazy. But I would like to say, if you are ever reading the news and you're like, ooh, that's so weird, email it to me, weirdnews@horseradionetwork.com. Make sure you spell weird right, because then it won't come to me and it goes to Glenn and he may or may not send it to me. Okay. It's a thing. It's a whole
It's
thing.
a thing.
Weird has like 47 different spellings, apparently.
Yes, it does.
Okay. So sorry about that, museum, those who were planning to go there this weekend. But now we are going to turn to a New Jersey man. Okay. He's a bit henpecked. Okay. So he was sent out grocery shopping. And he goes grocery shopping and his wife had given him a list. And so he goes to the grocery store, and like on the way to the grocery store, he stops at a little gas station and kind of does his like morning routine of like getting coffee. He buys a lottery ticket. He does all sorts of things. He just kind of wanders around the store. Then he goes to the grocery store and he comes home and he hands his wife the receipt and all the groceries. And she's like, no, you spent $5 on orange juice? This is real. I'm not making this up. You spent $5 on orange juice? Absolutely not. Tomorrow, you are going back and you are returning that orange juice because I have a coupon for it that it makes it $2.50. He's like, okay. So next morning, he's like, I got to return orange juice to save $2.50. So he, morning routine, gets in his car, goes to the gas station, gets a copy, gets his coffee, and then hands them the lottery ticket just to check.
No. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Now, mind you, this is the man who had to return the orange juice because she had a coupon for it for $2.50.
Okay.
He scans the ticket and he's like, I'm used to like, every once in a while to be like, you win $2, you win $3.
Right.
And this when he scanned it and said, see cashier. And so he takes it up to the cashier and the cashier scans it, goes, oh my God. He's like, what do you mean? What do you mean by, oh my God? He says, but she kept repeating, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He won $315 million.
What?
Yeah. And he goes back to the house and he's basically like, I didn't return the orange juice. Booyah. And yeah, I just thought that was like such a cool story that he was like having to return orange juice, and he goes home and like boom drops his ticket on his wife. Actually, what he did is he walked in the house. This is even cuter. He's like, hey, I need to borrow $100. And she's like, what do you need $100 for? You can't have $100. We don't have $100. And he's like, boom, we do now. And he hands her the ticket.
Oh my goodness. So does this mean if we go to return orange juice that we're going to get some money?
Oh, God bless him. He did a press conference. I watched the whole press conference. It was so adorable.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I know. New Jersey man wins $315.3 million Powerball jacket during the trip to return orange juice that wasn't on sale.
Good for him.
I know. How cool.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Well, it's going to take a turn.
Yeah. I thought you were going to tell me that he gave the lottery ticket to her and it was worth a bunch of money instead of the coupon and she kept it. But
oh, no. But what I said, like we had a funny one and then we had a cute one, a sweet one. We're going to take a turn downhill. We're going downhill right now. We're going to travel to Colchester, Vermont, because a man named Sean Burnett, 33 years old. I see his mugshot. It's exactly what you would think it would be. He was arrested for stealing a car. Okay, so he was heading home, and he hopped in this car on Hawksway and took off and was captured later. But I love the details in the story. He was captured behind Bob's Auto Center in Essex Junction. And so authorities arrested him. He goes to jail. And then he was arraigned the next morning. And they were like, okay, your court date is here. And I guess they just think you're free to go. But we'll see you, on this date for your court date. So he leaves the police department and walks out. And he's like, I ain't walking home. So he steals another car.
Of course he did. Of course.
And he's like, you know what? This is bull. He's at the courthouse. All his stuff is at the prison. So what does he do? He hops in the stolen car and drives back to jail to pick up his possessions. And he walks in and he's like, hey, I need my stuff. And they're like, wait, didn't you just leave here to go to your arraignment? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, how'd you get here so fast? So he walked outside and they arrested him again for stealing a car. 2 cars and 2 arrests twice in like 24 hours.
Jamie, like they say here in Tennessee, you can't fix stupid.
Oh my God.
You just
and
can't.
He
Oh
can't
my
even
goodness.
say he's on drugs because he was in prison. Like he's not high. Maybe he's high. I don't know.
No. This is just him.
I think it's just him. You can't fix stupid. You're right. You just can't. But you can arrest stupid. So
well, you can't. You can't. Oh my goodness.
All right. Now I'm going to go to the story that all of you sent me. That's right. We're going to go to Nevada. Okay. I mean, if there's Nevada is like the west side Florida. Okay. Like all sorts of stuff happens in Nevada, but we never really hear about it because Nevada is in the middle of nowhere. Like all the stuff that's probably happening in Nevada. I mean, I drove through there and I was like, you go through like a gas station that's telling you there's aliens that have landed, and then adjoining that is a house where men could do things to women, like whatever. There's all sorts of weird stuff in Nevada. Okay. And this does not disappoint. There's a town called Pahrump, Nevada. And Carl Mitchell lives on a ranch or farm, or he lives in the desert. I don't know where the hell he lives because it's crazy. So for several years, he has been violating county ordinances and not getting special condition permits. So it was time for the police to visit him again. And what does he do? What does he not have permits for? The 7 tigers in his yard.
No.
The 7 tigers in his yard. So the police are like, okay, that's enough, Carl. We've been through this. So they have tried to arrest him before, but he countersues, and he must have like a really exciting attorney because the attorney has provided him with all sorts of different ways to skate around the permits. But unfortunately, this time was the last time. But he is like, you guys can't take my tigers. You can't take my tigers. They're my emotional support tigers.
No.
Of course they are.
So here's my question. So if they arrest him, and who gets rid of the tigers? I mean,
so the great question. Police says that Sheriff Joe McGill says we intended to seize the cats. I don't know how they were going to do that, but they said number 1 for public safety, number 2 for safety of the cats. And then as they were trying to seize the cats, because they're just trying to take the cats, he's not going to prison. He's just going to get, tickets for not having the paperwork.
Right.
He then decides to retaliate. And what does he do? He attacks one of the deputies. And he attacks the deputies and he's like, that's it. If you guys come any further, I'm going to set them loose on you. okay, that's a problem. Now you're going to jail.
Yes.
So he was threatening the police with releasing his emotional support tigers. He actually, court records states that he described the tigers as service animals in 2015 because he put in an emergency injunction to stop the authorities from removing them back in 2015. He says that they provide him with emotional support for his post-traumatic stress disorder from his time in Vietnam. And he must have had such a great lawyer. And yes, there are 7 giant tigers in his yard, like orange tigers, white tigers, and they're just in like chain link fences with like a tarp on top. I don't not know how these tigers have not gotten out, but God bless them. They have now been removed from Carl's property, and Carl is now in jail.
Okay, so I don't even know where to start with this. I mean, where did they remove them to? That's my other question, because I don't want to go there, wherever that is.
Here's the problem with follow-up questions, Lisa. I'm usually just reading police reports.
I know, but like this is going to like bother me all day.
All you have to do to find out more is Google 7 tigers Nevada.
Okay.
And you should find all the information, including beautiful video and lots of information. I mean, like there's questions like, how did he feed 7 tigers?
Yes.
How did he take care of 7 tigers? How do you change the water when you have 7 tigers in a freaking cage?
Yes.
Oh my God. And they're in small cages too. Like, oh, bless their little hearts. Like, oh, it's just awful. So I'm glad they've been removed. Oh, they did say they were going to take him to wildlife sanctuaries.
Oh, well,
but the question remains, how did they get him there?
Yes, and who got them there?
Well, there you go. And again, if you are ever looking through the news and you think, wow, that's really weird, send it to weirdnews@horseradionetwork.com. I appreciate it. And again, thank you so much to Delia, Michelle, Debbie, Summer, Carrie, Lorene, Andrew, Shelley, and Amy. Boom, dropping it.
Easy, effective, and eco-friendly fly control starts with fly predators. Fly predators are the organic, natural way to dramatically minimize your fly problem. Learn more about fly predators and other Spalding Labs fly control solutions at Spalding, SPALDING-labs.com.
Well, Lisa Wysocki, thank you so much for co-hosting with me today and filling in for Glenn. Tell everybody where they can go to help Colby's Army or learn more.
Yeah, it's just colbysarmy.org, and I'm at lisawysocki.com.
And Lisa Wysocki is the author of multiple books with star-studded casts included in the books.
Absolutely, including, a possible murderer named Jamie Jennings. So
Zeus and I may have been implicated. We were implicated in a murder. I didn't do anything. You'll have to read it to find out what happened. And what are those books called? Tell everybody where they can find
that one's the RAIN equation, REIN, and the others are the opium equation. They're all equation type books, and the opium equation is the first in the series and the one that's being turned into a movie this fall.
Oh my gosh, you guys go read it because the books are always better than the movies, but in this case, they're both going to be great.
They're both going to be great.
Awesome.
They're both going to be great.
I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. And
thanks.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back on Friday. Wait, will we be back on Friday? I don't think we'll be back on Friday. Glenn is going to be here on Friday.
Glenn is live from Equine Affair Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All right, cool. So talk to y'all Monday.